Something just happened, folks, and it didn't happen on some fancy Wall Street trading desk or in a high-tech financial hub. No, this happened somewhere you'd least expect it. And it's sending a massive signal about our economy coming from a source that should make every single one of us sit up and pay close attention.
So let's just start with the raw number. We're talking about 2.4 million ounces of physical silver. In about 72 hours, that much physical metal was just gone, completely snapped up by regular people. An incredible amount of real, tangible wealth just vanished from the market in the blink of an eye.
And here's the kicker. Where did this all go down? Not some niche online bullion dealer. It happened at Costco. Yeah, you heard me right. The same place you buy your rotisserie chickens and giant packs of paper towels. So you have to ask yourself, when everyday people start buying silver bars right alongside their groceries, what do they see coming that the experts on TV keep telling us isn't there?
Okay, so let's break this down. Let's look at exactly what happened because this wasn't some slow, gradual trend. This was a stampede, a full-on rush that emptied the digital shelves with just unbelievable speed.
I mean, the moment those silver bars went live on the Costco app, the clock started ticking. Within just a few hours, you could see the inventory numbers just plummeting. And by that 72-hour mark, it was all gone, wiped out. People were acting with a kind of urgency you don't see every day. It's like they knew they had to get in while they still could.
And this is the part that's so important. Who was doing the buying? It wasn't the Wall Street hotshots or the hedge fund guys. No, these were your neighbors. They were families, retirees worried about their savings, and small business owners just trying to protect what they built. These are the folks who are living and breathing the real economy every single day, and that makes all the difference. So you gotta ask, right? Why this sudden, massive rush for silver? Well, this wasn't about trying to get rich quick. No, this was about something much, much deeper. It's about a growing feeling that the official story we hear about the economy just doesn't match up with what people are actually living through.
Think about it. Most of us, we don't study complex economic reports. We look at our grocery bills. We see the price at the gas pump. And right now, those numbers are telling a very different story. Prices for everything are stubbornly high. That mortgage or rent payment feels like a choke collar, and every single month it just feels like our dollars don't stretch as far as they used to. You don't need a degree to understand that feeling.
And this is the result. That quiet, nagging worry that so many people have been feeling in the back of their minds, well, it's not so quiet anymore. It's turning into real, tangible action. People are reaching for something solid, something they can actually hold in their hands, something that exists outside of a computer system.
Now, to really understand what's going on, you need to know about a huge contradiction in the silver market. You see, while all this frantic buying was happening at Costco, if you looked at the official spot price of silver on your screen, it barely budged. So how on earth is that possible? Well, it's because there are really two different silver markets. The secret lies in a little word called premium. The premium is simply the extra amount you pay over that spot price to get the actual physical bar into your hands. You can think of it as the market's own built-in lie detector. It tells you what the real-world demand is, no matter what the numbers on a screen are saying.
So you end up with two completely different realities. On one hand, you have the paper market, which is basically just a promise to deliver silver someday. That market looked totally calm. But on the other hand, you have the physical market, the one for the actual metal you can hold. And that market, it was absolutely screaming with demand. Costco just proved that when Main Street wants the real thing, the price on a screen can become almost meaningless. By the way, if you find these explainers helpful, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to follow us. That way, you won't miss any of the exciting updates we have coming up.
Okay, so the next logical question here is pretty obvious. If demand is through the roof, why can't a giant company like Costco just, get more? Well, the answer is that the journey silver takes from deep in the ground to your hands is a long and complicated one.
See, physical silver isn't like a case of soda you can just produce more of overnight. First, it has to be mined out of the earth. Then it has to be refined, purified. After that, it has to be minted into bars or coins. And finally, it has to be securely shipped. Every single one of those steps is a potential bottleneck. When you get a sudden surge in demand like we just saw, that whole pipeline gets squeezed and it just can't keep up.
And this is where human psychology really kicks into high gear. Think about how these things spread. It's contagious. One person sees a screenshot on social media that says sold out. They tell a few friends. A couple of those friends decide, hey, maybe I should get some, just in case. Then they post about it.
and suddenly 100 more people see it. That's how a little ripple turns into a tidal wave.
And this really gets to the heart of it. The panic isn't really driven by the price, it's driven by availability. The fear of not being able to get something at any price is a much, much stronger motivator than just worrying about cost. And that little sold out sign, that's the trigger.
So look, this whole Costco thing, it wasn't the end of the story. Not by a long shot. It was more like the opening scene. The real question is what happens now. And the good news is, you don't need to be a Wall Street expert to follow along. You just need to know which warning lights to watch on the dashboard.
So here's what to look for. First, watch how quickly Costco restocks, and then watch how fast that new batch sells out. Keep an eye on those premiums we talked about. Is that gap between the paper price and the real price getting wider? Are shipping times getting longer? And here's a big one. Do other big box stores start to copy Costco and sell bullion? And if you ever see a sign that says limit 2 per member, you need to understand that's not a sales pitch. That's a sign of rationing.
But you know, when you strip everything else away, here's the real long-term takeaway from all this. The most important number isn't the 2.4 million ounces. It's the millions of people who just learned, many for the very first time, that buying physical silver is even an option for them, and they can do it through a brand they already know and trust. That knowledge isn't going away. The cat is officially out of the bag.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. If the price you see on your screen says silver is cheap and easy to get, but when you go to actually buy the real thing, the shelves are empty and you can't find it anywhere, which one of those prices and which one of those realities do you think is the real one?